Hey, welcome everybody to a very special Gadget Talk brought to you by the Geocache Talk Network. Chad and I are so excited about this because we've been looking forward to this interview for quite some time. Just really excited to meet with, as you can see, Daniel Pflieger down there at the bottom with Guy Punk over in Germany. And that's why we did this special podcast today because we didn't want Daniel to be up till like 3 a.m. in the morning just to do a simple interview with us. And so we wanted him at his best and ready to go. But Chad, so how are you? Are you excited about this?
Very excited. This is going to be awesome. You know, again, we want to do this when he's actually awake and can kind of go over some stuff and talk about some stuff. So, yeah, no, really excited. And again, we would love we want to welcome and thank Daniel for coming on with us. What is it? 9 o'clock your time, I think right now.
9 p.m. Right.
Yeah, 9 p.m. So great.
Yeah, and of course, here, Chad, it is at noon where you're at in Seattle. It is 2 o'clock here in Memphis where I'm at, and wherever you're at, thank you for joining us. But before we really get into this, we got to kind of take care of our sponsors and talk about a little bit about Patreon. So here we go. If you would like to become a patron, click on the Become a Patron link on the front page of the Geocache Talk website, or head over to patreon.com/Geocache Talk for more details. Patrons get the now famous blackout coins and other geocaching items during the year. Support levels start as low as the Bison Tube level, which is only $3 a month.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
All right, so now all that is taken care of. And as we are going through today, talking with Daniel, if of course, as usual, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the chat. And because we are going to have a lot of fun. We've already kind of had a little mini tour ourselves, so we're excited to see what else we can come up in the interaction from you guys in the chat.
Yes, and since this is a podcast, if you're watching or if you're listening to this, unfortunately, it's not going to be as good as if you won't take from it as much as if you would if you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook. So if you're listening to this, go back and try and find it on Facebook or YouTube and take a watch it.
Right, because you're going to get to see some really cool stuff. And you can find that on, of course, the Geocache Talk Network YouTube channel. And you can type in Geocache Talk into Facebook, and you can find it there as well.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel. Now, all that's taken care of. Now we can start having fun and getting to really see everything that you've got. And so, first off, I want to say thank you. And by watching Joshua's videos and seeing all your caches and seeing all the different things that you do, let me tell you, you have the coolest job in the world. I think everybody in the chat room and everybody agrees with this.
Yeah, I guess so too. But maybe the job of my employees is even better. Maybe because I employ 2 people who are just responsible for building geocaches, and I hired another person who is just responsible for creating trips abroad to bring people to look for geocaches. This is Annette. She runs our travel agency. So she's getting paid for searching for geocaches, and Dirk and Arne, they are getting paid for building geocaches. Yeah, maybe their job is better than mine.
Yeah, that's the job I want. I want to get paid to build a cache.
Yeah, same here. I mean, and I can almost guarantee just about everybody in the chat room and those who are listening, like, I want to get paid geocaching. That's just awesome. And good job for you figuring out how that you can do that. And that's one of the things that's really amazing. And so many of us are trying to strive to figure out how to do what you've done. And that's just awesome.
Thank you so much. I didn't believe it by myself. We're now, our company exists since 10 years. I never figured it out that I would have like 8 employees, that we're building geocaches all around the world, that we're traveling all around the world to to bring people to other exciting geocaches. I could never figure it out 10 years ago. So I'm also pretty surprised and happy that this is the case by now.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up about taking people around the world to enjoy caches. Do you want to talk about that? Because as far as I know, right, you have a couple different businesses.
Yeah, maybe just give a little small overview about our businesses. Basically, we have three things we're doing. We started with creating geocaching-based team building events for companies, for show classes, for private birthday parties, for anything, for groups of each kind. That was the start of our company. So, and it's still our daily business. We have normally, if there's not a worldwide pandemic, we have like 5 up to 10 geocaching-based team events a week. By now, it's once a week. Hard year for all of us, maybe. That's what we started with and what we're still doing. So geocaching-based team building, incentives, company celebrations, these kind of things. And the second thing we're doing is we run a travel agency specialized on geocaching trips. So if it's not a worldwide pandemic, we used to run like around 20 trips a year all over the world. We started with a trip to Brazil to the last remaining ape cache 5 years ago. I know right now there's another one, but 5 years ago it was the last remaining ape cache, and that was the start of our geocaching-based travel agency. And but it grew. So we have been to almost 100 countries by now and look for geocaches with amazing groups joining us. Yeah, that's the second thing we're doing. The second, I don't know, it's not a separate company, but it's a second brand. It's called Cachereisen. Yeah. And third thing we're doing is we create geocaches and geocaching concepts and geotours for brands, for small family-owned businesses up to states who would like to use geocaching within their public relationship as a tool of marketing, as a marketing tool. And that's what I'm burning for. I really that's a part where I think is it's a big, I don't know. I like all of our brands and the things we're doing with geocaching, but they're like the most to figure out how to create a geocache that suits the message of our customer, and that really brings up creativity in our team.
Yeah, and that's really cool. I love how a lot of the ones that have been featured on Josh's channel, where so you're at a place where you stick your feet in the water and the fish clean your feet.
Yeah.
and you discover the code in a fish tank. I love how you've been able to take the theme of the store and really create those caches for that. And so that's really, really cool. Or working with these different companies, from the coffee shops to the I guess the brewery, where you had to do a breathalyzer test to get the code. all these different themes are just really cool, and just so many different creative aspects and how you did that. That's just really amazing to me.
Thank you so much. But I can't claim all the honor. Usually I just come up with the customer, and the ideas come from my co-workers Arne and Dirk. They are building all these amazing things. As you can see, I have 2 left hands. I'm pretty bad at building things, but I'm pretty good at bringing up customers.
Well, now, are you part of the brainstorming aspect of when you get the cache?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I have an idea and I pitch the idea to the team, and they say, "Nice idea, but here's a better one." And usually they really have a better idea. idea that works. So sometimes I have an idea, but I'm pretty glad that I have Dirk and Arne, who have the real and working ideas.
So you have the easy job. You just have to get the accounts, and they have to come up with the cash.
Yeah, true. True.
Now you're in your shop right now, and there's a lot of different things to it. Can you go ahead and give us maybe like a little bit of a tour of everybody that's watching a tour of the shop? And we could probably start out outside. I know it's kind of dark outside, but we can start off with the cache out there. We can go from there.
Yeah, I go outside. Make sure to bring my key.
Don't want you to get locked out.
So. And some of the videos that you were talking about earlier about the coffee shop and stuff, Josh with the Geocaching Vlogger has done videos on these. So if you want to take a look at those, go to his YouTube channel and take a look and check them out.
Yeah, there are 2 playlists, Geocaching in Germany. If you just hit this, you will see pretty much all the geocaches just filmed when he was here.
Yeah, I know I've gotten some ideas from some of your caches from those videos as well. So just kind of some inspiration.
Very good. So we're outside the building. That's the building itself is here around 50 other companies, pretty creative companies, web designer, game designers, photographers, and it's a good surrounding to have our workshop here. And of course, we have Geocache over here. That's our company sign, and of course you can open it. And behind it, there's a pretty hard mystery fight puzzle. You have to turn the bolts and count how many times they can be turned, and that will give you the code for the padlock. So that's a hard one. It's a I guess difficulty 4 geocache. Usually, if I see people walking around here and try to figure out how it works, I go outside, offer them a coffee, and give them a little hint, and so we get in connection.
That's really great, and I love how the sign blends into the complete hidden in plain sight, because people walk down that street every day and not even know that that's there, because
that's true. Yeah,
they don't want to mess with the sign itself.
Yeah, true. If you're not a geocacher, you will just see it as a sign.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. So, but now let's go inside. Also a little warmer here.
What is the temperature there right now?
I have Fahrenheit, right? It's 9 degrees Celsius. That's I don't know. I have no idea what this is in Fahrenheit, but it's not that warm. It's
right.
It's a nice autumn day. Nice day in fall.
Okay.
But would be better to be at home with a hot chocolate and the cat sitting on my belly. Yeah. Now we're inside, and here we have our room where we have team meetings, where where customers arrive, and of course, where some geocaches are. You may have seen this one. That's a book which turns its pages like magic. We have the button over here. If you press it, then run back. It will turn its pages, and it will reveal the code on the last page.
Yep. And as those that are watching, Chad and I already know the answer to this, but how are you making that turn its page? How you're making that turn?
There's a motor which is normally used to open a window in the roof.
For in a car or on like an actual house?
No, in the house. Yeah.
Okay. So an electric window opener. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a remote control, remote doorbell.
Okay.
And this will, start the engine, start the motor.
All right. It's really cool. I really like that one. That's a really great way to be able to use that.
Maybe you remember this. That was in the fish
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Pedicure shop you were talking about. It's here now in our shopping window. The geocache is archived, but it still runs. But I can't find the button by now, so I can't show you. You have to watch the other video.
Now, did you actually have water in that, or was
No,
it just
no.
okay? It was just fake. Okay.
Yeah, true. Let's go over here. We have a geocache we created for the local recycling company. That was our first geocaching marketing contract. The local recycling company had its 10th anniversary, and they asked us if we could build 10 geocaches to celebrate their anniversary. And we built these geocaches based on trash containers. So each trash container has a unique fight puzzle. This one, for example, has a marble maze. You have to find the right hole, and this will give you the code to open the. We used it lately as a lab cache, but before it gave you the right number to open the padlock.
Okay. So when the marble would come out of the bottom, where do you put it in the top?
Oh,
or is there a hole?
I can show you. Yeah,
Okay.
There's a hole. This over here. Oh, you need a magnet. Let me.
Oh,
I'm going to grab a magnet. We have some over here. I'm not worried.
the nice thing about some of these caches is you're working with a local company and you're teaching people about geocaching, right? So they get to learn about this geocaching game, and then hopefully they become, premium members, which helps out geocaching.com as well.
Right.
Yeah. So I found a magnet, and if you put the magnet here, you should be able to. Let me get the marble out. You can move this one. Can you see it?
Okay, yeah. I saw how that moves. Okay, yeah.
And then you can bring the marble inside, use the magnet again, and then that's.
You just tip the garbage can.
Yeah, right. It's hard to do it with one hand.
Yeah, no worries. I think we get kind of the point of it.
Yeah,
right. And then you just get it down there, and okay, that's really cool. I like how how you do that. That's really good. I hadn't thought of how that would do that as a concept like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of different marble magnet ones, but not in a trash can, and I think that's really cool that using those kind of containers. What is your favorite container to use, or do you have one?
Actually, we really like these trash containers because they have a lot of space. You can put in some creative things. Maybe we can link a video in the show notes. The last geocache we based on a trash can, you had to fill water inside, and then it turns like a little. I don't know how to say. We have to link the video. It's
okay. Yeah, we'll link it.
Yeah, it's on our Instagram page. I'm going to show it later. But this gives us a lot of opportunities to come up with creative ideas. And these containers are hard to vandalize. You have to burn them actually to destroy them. You can. I don't know, you can kick them, you can throw them apart, and they won't break. And they're weatherproofed. So that's also an advantage of these boxes.
Was the logbook actually in the trash can itself? Or was that more of a lab cache?
That one we used as a lab cache, but before we had it over here.
Oh, okay.
In the back.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big area for a logbook.
Yeah, true.
That's huge.
Yeah, you need to have a bunch of trash in there and have like a film container in there that has a log, and you got to dig through all the trash to get the logbook.
we have one trash container where we had like 200 micro containers, black ones, and only one has the logbook, so you have to open them all.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
those patient caches. Yeah,
That needs to have a level of frustration on there.
Yeah, sometimes. And it's easy to find, so it doesn't have to be easy to solve, right?
Right.
So maybe we go upstairs, and here we have a huge selection of things we're using for team events, of things we used as geocaches. I guess you all saw at least one video of the My Fair Lady geocache where the mannequin lifts its arm. This one was the first idea. This is a mannequin which blinks the code, but in infrared. So you have to use your phone camera to see it. After that, there came the My Fair Lady, another mannequin which lifts her arm if you call her. What else we got here? Some other signs we built with. Yeah, it's just we didn't finish them yet, but yeah.
Now, is it typical for a sign in Germany to open up like that, or is that just something completely different?
That's something completely different we
Okay.
just came up with.
That's
Yeah, I
really
was going to
cool.
ask if you custom made the frame and everything for that.
Yeah, we can customize it so that it fits into the building, into the surrounding. You can pretty much fit everything about this: the size, the shape. Yeah, that's not that hard. We have a company which produces them, and they have a huge selection of forms to use.
That's really
Nice.
cool. I like that, because I know Chad makes a lot of different signs as well, and then
Oh, we lost Eric. Yeah, I make a bunch of signs, and then I actually recently just started making some with a container in them too as well, so they can open up with a logbook.
and seeing
Okay.
they're at.
So
There, I'm
okay, we
back.
got Derek back.
Kids must still be on the internet downstairs.
Yeah. This is also one of my favorite geocaches because you have to put your hand inside, and then you have a stick. I can show you a stick with how it's called. When blind people
Braille.
Braille, right? And on the stick, there's actually Braille code, and you can't see it. You just have to, you have to touch it and figure out what the code is. So you have to really get into the feeling of visualized handicapped people. I like this about it because there's no way you can see it. You can't.
Yeah, I'd probably stick my cell phone up there and take a picture of it myself. That's just me.
Won't work. Tried it.
No. That's really cool. We do have a question here from the Pizza Ninja.
Yes.
He says, has Daniel explained why he talks to sticks of dynamite like a cell phone? So I don't know if you remember that picture we have on our
See if I can find. I can
page
see.
on our Instagram page.
Yeah. That was funny photo shooting. I don't like normal stuff. We have we have this dynamite over here. Okay, can you see it? It's part of a bomb we're using when we're short on money. So we just send the bomb over to a rich company and blackmail them.
Nice.
No, we don't do this. That's part of one of our team events, an escape game based game. And when I had this photo shooting here, we were just looking around the office, around the workshop, which props we could use for the photo shooting to make it a little more easy. Yeah, that's the reason.
Right. Now, back on the one that had the Braille on there, somebody said, what about a flexible camera with a light? Would you be able to see it at that point? You think?
Yeah, I guess so. But before I would bring this, I would rather try to figure out the prey code by touching it.
Yeah, and that would have to be a rather probably like a 4.5 difficulty because not everybody has the sensitive fingers to be able to figure out those little dots.
It's not little dots. We used bigger screws.
Okay.
So that's the touching part is not the hardest one.
That's cool. I've seen a couple of the Braille caches that they're difficult for me to do.
Yeah, and of course now that's giving me some new ideas.
So you have a multi-person one over there too, right? That board, that tabletop. It looks like
again
the tabletop.
Yeah, the tabletop one over there. That's a multi-person. Is that a cache? Yes.
That's a item we use for team building for our geocache team building events. So that's not an actually cache, but we use it in a customized multi geocaching tour. But it's not. You have to have at least I think 2 or 3 people who have to. Actually, I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah, no, it looks cool. It looks like you have several people that tilt it, and you got to get it into a certain hole.
Yeah, right.
Either get a code or something like that.
Right, a team building
that's
code
really
one.
Cool.
That's really cool. I like it too.
Mm-hmm. I just spotted one. I didn't saw in quite a time. It's a station where you have to bring these in the right order based on their weight. Put them here and have to figure out the right weight of these to figure out the code.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. And I'd imagine just because it has more sand in it, it doesn't mean it's the heaviest. You probably have something else in there like a lead that changes
right.
it.
There's some tricks attached to it. I guess Dirk built some metal inside to make it lighter or heavier.
That's really cool. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
It's
awesome.
So what we have a huge cryptex.
Oh wow, that is a huge cryptex. And I love these. I love all the different poles that you have there, and each one of those are different types of gadget container type style.
Yes.
And different puzzles.
Yes. Maybe we can figure out this one. I'm not sure. Sometimes I really can't remember how they work.
I have the same problem on some of mine, where I can't remember the code to get into it. So I have a book everything's written down on.
Oh, I'm going to show you this one because this I love so much. This is a pole. You see the container, and here's the key to get to the container. And most people think they have to somehow open this padlock, but the solution is just to to
unscrew
not unscrew, just pull.
Oh, make that nice. That's evil. That's really, really good.
That is hilarious. That is.
I guarantee you, we're probably going to see more stuff like that now after seeing that.
Yes. Sometimes the easiest solution or the best solution is the easiest solution, and we overthink things so many times.
Yeah, right. You just have to pull pretty hard. Yeah.
So, Chad, I don't know if you saw this, but Just Finding Our Way say that's what personal notes on geocaches are for.
Yeah.
The code. Yeah. That's what I do on mine.
Yeah. I just keep a little book with me, and then I can remember the codes off there. And then I get a lot of text messages from people trying to find the cache and need a hint, and I don't remember the code. Hints. So I have to write them down.
Right. So I have a question for everybody that's watching. Yes. What is your favorite cache that you've seen of Daniel's as when Josh has been overseas in Germany doing them? What is your favorite cache? Put that in the chat as we're continuing looking at some of these other caches from Daniel.
I'm going to show you another one. This is a co-working geocache. You have to have 2 people solving it. If you see how it works.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That is cool. I'm gonna have to
I'm not sure if I'm
borrow
going
that.
to
I
make
think
it.
You got to get that board up on top, pressed up all the way. Is that what you have to do?
True,
Yeah.
but you have to have it. So now I would need 2 more hands. I don't have, so it's better to do it.
Or no
Right.
phone in the other hand.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
maybe.
No, yeah, and so that there's a button, I guess, so that little white tab up there lifts up. Is that what happens? Or no?
The red thing is. Let me show you again. So, and if you. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. You just tell us.
Oh, I think I broke my leg. No, it's okay. It will. You have to lift both of these to reveal the code behind this red. Red.
Oh,
wood
okay, but
thing.
behind
Okay.
the block.
Okay.
Yeah. Whew. Okay.
Okay. Are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
I guess I have another root beer now. So, what else I can show you? Yeah.
So Midwest Drone Pilot said the favorite one of theirs is the pull lock. Is my favorite because it's hilarious. And then we have, let's see here, the mannequin in the store window. My Fair Lady.
Yes.
And so those are so far what if everybody's been coming in saying that they're their favorites right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of which one's my favorite because there's so many amazing caches. I do know that coming over to Hanover,
I would love to have you here.
yeah, is like on my bucket list to come over and just have and go play.
Me too.
You should both come over here and we should build a geocache together. And
Hey.
I should do the same if I come to your place.
Yeah. Come to Seattle. I have a place you can build a cache.
Yep.
You have?
Chad's workshop. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. You don't have a geocache at your workshop?
I do. I have my
No.
garage.
Yeah.
No, we don't know. We wish we had a full workshop like what you have over there and be able to do that and be able to do this full time.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I would love to build a geocache with you. Or let Dirk build a geocache with you.
Yeah, I mean, I have CNC machines and 3D printers and metal benders and
Great.
brakes and all the woodworking tools you can think about. So the only thing I don't
Yeah.
have is a laser cutter. It's been on my list and it may be coming soon. I don't know.
Yeah. We work with a laser cutter a lot. If we customize geocaches for our customers, then a laser cutter is the thing to have because you can bring up so many. I don't know. It attaches a lot of. It just looks better if you print the logo with the laser cutter on the wood.
yeah.
Mhm.
Looks so amazing. Yeah.
It gives it that wow factor of
true.
that. And so
Yeah.
I use my vinyl plotter, my cutter that we use for making signs on a lot of stuff because it really finishes it off. It makes it look professional. And then when people see stuff like that, it looks like a real sign and people don't pay attention to it.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Hugh's saying he agrees all of us get together, physically get together once we're able to.
Yes.
And actually do some brainstorming and create a cache live on the air. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah. that
I
be
would
so
say
cool.
my favorite one that I've seen is the train track one where you got to drive that car down. And is it a tour you do and you find those different caches? I would love to do that.
It's a geo tour, right? And it has a lot of letterboxes, and on the end there's the mystery cache, and the boxes on the trail, they're not that special. It's just a lot of them. But the final is pretty nice. It's abandoned train station where you can go in, and there's you can see it in the video.
Yep. And you've added to that one since that video too, haven't you? There's more caches on that trail, or is it a different trail now or tour?
The tour is going to be enlarged in the next season. The rail, this company, they have season until the end of October, so 2 more weeks left, and then they're in winter break. And they have another trail north of Berlin, and we're going to put another trail to this. So the Geo tour is going to be a little bigger.
Okay.
It's harder to gain the souvenir.
Yeah. So, and I'll tell you what my favorite one was, and and I was thinking about this. Probably one of my favorite ones was the phone booth one that you and Josh did. Is the whole MIDI escape room all in that phone booth trying to get that. That's probably was one of my favorite ones.
Yes, I like that too. It's like 200 yards from here, so not that far. If it wouldn't be dark, I would bring you there.
So what is it like as you're driving through Hanover and you see somebody doing your caches? How does that make you feel? Because we have how many caches out there? Do you guys have out there?
In total, like 300.
Wow.
And in Hanover, almost 200. So most of our geocaches are based here because we're founded here. We have the most customers here. And I like the feeling to go around the city and to I have in mind this sign has a secret, this trash container has something special in it. And I like that most people don't recognize it. They just walk by it and not knowing what's the second layer, what's the magic beneath it. I like that idea. And I like putting people. I do like a geocaching introduction for business partners and interested people once a month. So I introduce them to geocaching and I show them like 6 up to 10 of our geocaches in Hanover, and I really like the feeling if I see how their eyes grew bigger.
Right.
If they wow, that mannequin can move. You can call a mannequin and it lifts her arm. So they know the shops before, but they were not aware of there's the
hidden treasure. Yeah.
Yes,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for all the people that are in Hanover and they start geocaching in Hanover and then they go outside of Hanover and like, wow, these stink. This is just a little nano underneath a light post. What is this?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
What's going to supposed to happen here? Is there something?
Did the light come off? Am I supposed to read the light? Yeah. This is a tie. This is a tool. Okay, what do I do with it?
So are most of your caches premium or are they basic membership so anybody can find them?
We don't have any premium membership geocache. None at all. Because the most geocaches we bring out, we build for customers, for companies, and of course they want a lot of people to find them. So we won't limit it to just premium members.
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing. I have actually one that I switched to premium membership. And I'm going to switch it back, but there's a bunch of brand new cachers finding them. And I was getting 10 calls a day and I was like, okay, this is really hard. I'm tired of getting calls for a little bit. So I changed it to premium, but I need to switch it back.
And we of course receive a lot of messages and sometimes calls. It's not too hard to figure out my mobile number. You can find it on the internet. So usually I receive a lot of calls, especially on the weekends or in the evening. And mostly I can't help the people because I don't know the codes. I don't have them with me. The better chance is to write a message via the geocaching app. And I have an employee who answers them, but sometimes he's not. Yeah, sometimes it will take some time. He's not always on his phone to answer the messages, so sometimes you have to wait. You won't receive instant help. But we started to attach QR codes at some of our geocaches. I can show you here. Over here is the QR code.
I see it. See the QR code on the inside of the door.
There's do you need help? It's written above it. And if you scan the QR code, you can put in your email, and then you will receive an autoresponder with the solution of the geocache.
Well, that's a great idea.
That's a really great idea. Now, with having so many caches out there, what's the cache maintenance like? Or do you have just an employee that just weekly goes around to all the different caches and then just checks on them?
He checks not on a regular basis, but he checks when someone's posting a needs maintenance log. And then of course, we have to do a lot of maintenance. Usually around 20 of our geocaches are disabled because the logbook is full, because someone didn't put the right code on the padlock, and so it's destroyed and has to be changed. That happens a lot. And so basically pretty small things, but still someone has to go there and fix it. And but normally people need maintenance logs, and then my employee goes there and fixes it. But he doesn't check. It's not possible to check all geocaches, even in Hanover, on a regular basis. It's not possible.
Okay. And we have a question coming in from Stephen Kroon. It says, I was away from his keyboard. So how do you get customer acquisition to build them geocaches? So how do you find your customers that want the geocaches built at their location? How do you come about that?
Yeah. I guess we are the only company who uses geocaching as a marketing tool, as far as I know. So if companies already know that they are willing to put geocaching in their marketing mix, then they usually find us. And that's one way. That's the better way. But of course, not all companies are aware of the use and benefits of using a game to improve your marketing. And so every day I call or write one company I would like to work for. And I just sent them a video. I used a lot of videos from Joshua. For example, the geocache with the mannequin. This video I sent to a lot of other outdoor equipment stores. I just sent them the videos and tell them, see, this is the geocache. It already drove like so many thousand people to the store, and some of them are coming in and are buying a new flashlight or new shoes or whatever. Would it be an opportunity for you too? And not usually, but like every third try, I receive an answer, and we figure out an appointment, and then I'm going to explain the concept of geocaching and how it could maybe drive their business.
Right. So maybe, like you said, maybe it's not guaranteed, but it's a really great way of, one, be able to introduce somebody to geocaching, and two, to be able to put a great cache in that location and just really up the game for everybody else. Because I know personally, I much rather would like putting my caches at businesses, because as they're a little bit better, they don't get vandalized as much. And we were talking about that before we went live. So that's really cool. So what type of vandalism do you see on your caches at all? Or a lot, but because most of them are at businesses.
Yeah. We have around 300 caches out there in total, and we have like 3 up to 5 vandalism cases a year. So not the regular maintenance thing where someone for accident screwed the padlock,
right?
But pretty hard vandalism where the geocache is broken and someone kicked on it and put things on it. That happens not that often. I think 3 up to 5 times a year based on 300 geocaches. That's okay. That's 1 up to 2%. That's okay. And I guess one of the main reasons we don't have that much vandalism is because most of our geocaches are on private or company ground,
Right.
public accessible, but still it's on somebody's ground, and I guess that's a barrier, a mental barrier for most people to don't vandalize it.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. I think all my caches, trying to think, I think I might have one that's not, but all mine are on commercial property, on private property. And that does make a big difference.
Yes.
I think I had one vandalism this year so far, and that's it. But mine blend in very well, like we were talking about before, with the signs and making them look professional and like they belong.
Yes.
There. So it makes a big difference. And, you know, back to the point of working with a business to bring in cachers and bring in businesses. I work a lot with coffee shops here because we have them all over the place. And so usually people that are finding the geocache there are, oh, there's a coffee. Maybe I'll buy one. You know, we can't guarantee you it, obviously, that someone's going to buy something, but we tried
at least it drives people to go there.
Right, exactly. And then I have some of mine outside, you know, retail centers, and like one's outside Tesla. Well, how many people's actually going to stop by and buy a Tesla? Probably not that many. But it brings people out there, and they learn about the property and everything else there, and, you know, gets people around. So it's really fun. And I think the commercial property, if you have the ability to talk to people and get them on private property or commercial property lands, it's a lot better.
True. Yeah. And even if you're not up to make a living from that, that still is a possibility for all geocaches. If you look around your area and think about who might benefit from having a geocache there, like as you mentioned, the coffee shop, and they have like a nice outdoor area where people can sit, and it's somehow protected. And if you offer them, I could create a nice creative geocache here and put it here. It will drive some people here. Can I do this? Will you give me allowance to put the geocache here? That's a huge opportunity. Even if you don't charge them for, as we do, we charge companies to. Yeah,
well, that's a different thing. Yeah. Yeah, and for me, you know, I put them out for free, right? So it doesn't cost a coffee shop or anybody to put the cache out there.
Yeah.
And if 10 out of 100 people buy a coffee from finding the cache, then that's 10 more people, you know, that they got that didn't cost them anything.
Yeah, and that's really great, because as our culture and everything like that, unfortunately, are not wanting to get out into the woods or into the wilderness and doing that aspect. And this is more urban style caching, which brings it to a completely another level, where basically we're taking geocaching where people are, and where it's a little bit more accessible. And I think that's really cool.
Before we started doing this on a commercial base, I had one. Yeah, we were walking to how it's called in German. It's called Baumarkt, a shop where it's a handy shop, a handcraft shop. I think a shop where you can supply building material. What's it called?
A hobby store or a
construction store,
lumberyard or something.
Lumberyard, yeah.
Lumberyard,
hardware store.
Maybe.
Hardware store,
right?
Okay.
And they have a huge outdoor area where they have these small garden cabins where people could store their garden tools. And we worked there and talked to the manager and told them about that we would like to put a geocache there. And he said, won't you maybe use one of these garden cabins as the geocache container? So he offered us to use a small house to put a geocache there. And so the geocache is the house, the garden house. And we didn't get paid for this. It was some years before we started the business, but it was like an eye-opener. We didn't have this in mind. We just wanted to put a geocache on that ground, and he offered such an opportunity. And this is something I would recommend to all of you if you would go to the company owners in your area and tell them about geocaching, they maybe offer you things then that you wouldn't imagine before.
Yeah, that's really
Right.
cool. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get unless you ask.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And you won't get anything if you don't ask.
Mhm.
So
And if you get a no, then you're no further or farther
Right.
behind than
Right.
if you didn't ask, right? So
So
it doesn't hurt.
I think that's really cool. Now, I was just thinking about this one cache. I'm curious how many people put a need maintenance on this one. It was the rope puzzle cache that Joshua did in his video, where he had to get the rope off out of the puzzle to get
Yeah.
to, because the key wouldn't reach to the thing and put it on there.
Yeah.
How many times do you all have to go out there and put the rope back on? Because it's one thing getting it off, it's another thing putting it back on. I'm just curious.
Not that often, because I guess if people figured out how to bring the rope off, they want the next geocacher to have it easier than they had. So they bring the rope back on. So we don't. Yeah, this geocache is out there since 5 or 6 years. We had to go there like 4 times to attach the rope again. That's okay.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad at all. I was expecting a lot more because
Nope.
just getting frustrated because I have a puzzle somewhere around here that my son took apart and I can't get it back together at this point. And I've been working on it for probably about 8 months, and I've done it once and I can't get it back together now. But
Oh, okay.
it's one of those Amiato puzzles. I'm trying to, oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talking about petting and having a cache in a nursery or a garden center at the hardware
Yes.
store. One of my favorite caches is by a cacher named Goblin Dust.
Yes,
here.
I know him. This toilet.
Yeah. So it's the outhouse the porta potty, and
Yes.
it's in the nursery, and you got to run a credit card to get into it, and then you got to solve multiple puzzles.
I locked this cache. I have been there. I love
You've
it.
been there.
Yes.
Nice. Have you found many of his caches then?
I did, I guess, like 3 or 4. The phone booth in Portland at the Volkswagen store. Then the one with the toilet, and then in Seattle, the geocache, which is part of the Geo Tour, and one
phone
more,
booth,
I guess. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which one's Goblin
nice.
Dust part of the Geo Tour? Which one is that? I forget.
It's at the HQ.
He's done several of them.
Oh, is it the phone one?
Yes.
This one?
The phone is
Okay.
actually in the lobby now.
Right.
Mhm.
I know when I did it 5 years ago, it was still at the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, he's done several of their caches for their Geo Tour, and then when they were having block parties, he did a lot of those lab caches.
Yeah,
That's
true.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, everybody, I think and if there's any more questions for Daniel, go ahead and put them in the chat before we start kind of wrapping this up. But first off, I want to say thanks, Daniel, for joining us and being able to meet with us on this special Gadget Talk. I know I've been geeking out about this and was really excited about this. And I'm pretty sure you were too, Chad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is fun. I'm so glad you agreed to come on with us and show us around, show us some of your caches, and possibly break your leg trying to complete one for us there.
Yeah.
One of our own. Yeah.
And that cache gave me an idea for kind of a really cool build that I may put my little own twist. I have to go back and watch the video to look at it again, but if you don't mind.
I won't mind.
Okay.
I'm pretty glad. Recently, a geocacher from New York City, he watched a video of Joshua doing this gumball machine geocache. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
And he was rebuilding this cache just from the video, and showed me a video of his geocache in New York City, and I was like, wow. So this guy was so inspired by the video he saw of one of our geocaches. Now he put a similar one in New York City. I never figured that kind of thing would happen. So if anyone would like to copy or get inspired by some things, I don't mind. You can copy everything, you can improve it. There's a lot of things to improve. I would love to see geocaches based on our ideas in other countries all over the world. I would love to see this.
And on that one, that actually inspired me for an element in one of mine where I had to pull a pin to drop the code down to get into the lockbox and to get into another part where there's another puzzle. So that just seeing how you have the key on the pin and it dropped, that gave me an idea for something else. Just that aspect of it. So so much different inspiration, so many really cool caches. Just really appreciate everything that you guys are doing over there, and just really keep up the great work. I know I'm hoping to get to go on one of your tours, your travel tours once everything opens back up. I'm hoping to do the Brazil one. It's really where I want to go. I want to go to Brazil.
Yeah. We figured out a geocaching trip for foreign. Yeah, we had a request from someone from the United States. She would like to come over here with like 25 or 30 people, and we figured out this tour. They wanted to do all geocaches Joshua did and some more, and we already had it together, and then that pandemic hit us. So this tour, if you want to join, I hope we can do it next year or anywhere in the future.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that
Now,
fun.
I have a quick question for you. You may not know the answer to this. Do you use on your electronics? Do you use Arduino or Raspberry Pi, or do you use other types of electronics?
Both, and Arduino and Raspberry. But basically, I would like to use them as little as possible, because that's usually causing a lot of maintenance. The geocaches where we have a Raspberry Pi built in, they cause a lot of maintenance work, and so I don't like them that much. I don't know if you have other experiences, but in my opinion, it's better to have mechanical or pretty basic electronical workings inside than computer based. And my technical English is not that.
Yeah, no. We completely understand. I mean, yeah, a lot of people that do Arduino, Raspberry Pi caches like that, anything with a computer board or anything like that, any kind of electronics, it is more maintenance than putting out something that's just mechanical.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed a lot of yours that you showed us are just mechanical.
Right, and I love that. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the ones that you do use Arduino with are what I'm going to call your geocaching window shopping ones. So it's behind the glass. So you're not getting it's in a controlled environment versus being out in the elements. Is that correct? Like My Fair Lady.
True. Yeah, but that's not a
window based.
I'm going to tell you how this is done. In My Fair Lady, you have a servo motor which lifts the arm, and this one is there's a light sensitive sensor built in, and this and a mobile phone also built in the mannequin. And if you call the number, it will light the display of the mobile phone, and this will activate the light sensitive sensor, and this will activate the motor. So there's no Arduino built in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Joshua asked me about doing something like that when I did one for him I remember what he asked me for. I don't know if it was for Adventure Lab or something, but I said, no, I'm not that smart. You have to go to Daniel for that. Because I think you have to have your own phone line. You have to have a cell phone line or some kind of phone line, right? Attached just to that.
Right.
Can you say this again? We have what?
So the one with the phone that you call, you'd have to have a phone line or a cell phone or some kind of phone connected just for that cache.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. But by now we're more working with remote doorbells to activate the motor.
That's really
that's
cool,
nice. Pretty simple concept there, using a remote doorbell or battery doorbell.
So here's Hughes goes, Daniel, give us your shop name and the website. He says once this pandemic is over, you might have several cachers coming over to see you.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to see you all, and would love to make a lot of coffee if you come over here, because every geocacher who visits our workshop receives a coffee and a geocoin and some other stuff.
Oh, nice.
I would love to have all of you here. So we have different websites. If you want to travel with us, then check out cacherreisen.com. Cacher-reisen basically can be translated with caching trips. Some of our texts on the website are also available in English. So we're translating step by step everything on it. And we're going to offer more trips in Germany for foreign people. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to send you over some links you can put into the show notes. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's Geheimpunkt. We put there a lot of pictures and videos of our geocaches if you want to get more inspired. We are also on YouTube. It's also Geheimpunkt, where you can find a lot of geocaching videos and how they're created and stuff like this. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Well,
and we'll have
looks
all
like
those in the description.
Yeah.
Looks like the Pizza Ninja signed up for the tour when you go ahead and post it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Great. Well, Daniel, we want to thank you for coming onto the show, showing us your shop and talking to us about your caches and everything there. And in the future, when this does come, when this pandemic is over and you do have a tour, I actually would love to come over and take a look and see what we can or find some of your caches with everybody. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be so much fun. And I really would love to build a geocache as a collaboration. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'd love to do that. And of course, if you're over in Memphis, I'll take you to Graceland and we'll go have some fun down there. But also, one of the things I really want to thank is and I've seen this couple comments on this in the chat, is thanks for the insight about getting and the encouragement about going and talking to businesses and how to do that. Because that's, as gadget cache builders and all that, we are always trying to find places to put them and how to get them into businesses. And that was just really inspirational for a lot of us.
At least they can give you the location. Sometimes they may give you some budget for building the geocache. And best case would be if they pay you for building it.
Oh, yeah.
Then you have the location, you have the material, and you have some
little bit of money
outcome. Yeah.
So, so thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And everybody, go ahead and smash that like button. If you're not a subscriber to the Geocache Talk Network, hit that subscribe. Thank you for joining us. We will be back on the 27th,
Tuesday, 27th, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central. And we'll be building using reed switches. So we'll be doing a magnetic reed switch LED decipher system. So you'll have to use a magnet to light up LEDs in different areas to get the code. So we'll be going over that
and we'll be putting up the supply list up on the website here within the next week, so that you guys can go ahead and start getting that. So, but thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode.